Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Reviewing Comics with me, your host, Alexander Turbin. Today we're going to be going over What If Galactus Transformed Rogue. But before we get into that, let's check out some of my own stuff. This is Random Access. It's a full-size, full-color 12-page comic book that I produce every month. You can get this at patreon.com/Alexander Turbin, or you could go to my website, alexanderturbin.com, which also has such things as Mutandis and The Forlorn and Death Knights and all kinds of other stuff, and also the Random Access stuff. So check out alexanderturbin.com or patreon.com/AlexTurbin for, and it's only $3 a month for a full-size comic book. Plus, you also get all of the digital stuff, and I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages up there now, and I put new material up every month, so check it out. So, What If Galactus Transforms Rogue? I just finished watching the What If TV show like last month or a couple weeks ago, something like that. And I did not really love it. I liked the first season, but they got so hung up on trying to create this continual narrative, which I do like. I do like continual narratives, but they really kind of lost the charm and element of what really made What If comics great. To me, What If should always be what happens that goes horribly, horribly wrong. Like, what if the Phoenix had lived? She destroys the universe. In almost all of the what ifs, bad stuff happens, and it's never good. And that's just a tradition that I wish they had kept going. I really thought they had a good thing going with the Marvel zombies, and but they just kind of went this other narrative. I did love the artwork, the animation and stuff, but I just did not love the show. It just kind of went a way that I wish it had. So this is a new What If. It came out, I think, a couple months ago, last month, something like that. And Rogue is my favorite female comic book character, and this is a little bit of a precursor because I'm going to start going through this like 4 or 5 comic books that she was in before she actually joined the X-Men, and I'm going to go through the different comic books that she went through, much like I did the Lady Deathstrike and how she kind of transformed and became Lady Deathstrike. I'm going to do that with Rogue and see what we get with her. She, like I said, she's my favorite X-Man character. She's my favorite X-Woman character, and she's my favorite comic books female character as it is anyway. So this was written by Ann Nocenti, which I don't know if she's doing a lot more writing. I don't, like I said, I haven't really gotten a lot of new comics lately in the last 5, 10, 15 years. I've just gotten them sporadically, and most of the stuff I'm not really too excited about. I really like the Thor, and I really like the Daredevil, and maybe I'll get more into that because, as you know, I'm a Marvel guy and not so much a DC guy. But I'm going to try to, like I said, tip my toe into modern comics, so like you guys can get a little bit of a sneak peek at what is going on in your modern LCS, and maybe you might want to check some stuff out. So the cover artist is Ron Lim and Israel De Silva. That is awesome. That does not look like Ron Lim's art to me. I think it looks like Alan Davis to me, except this part doesn't look like Alan Davis, but she totally looks like Alan Davis. I totally thought that was him, but Ron Lim, that is very interesting. Of course, he did the Silver Surfer for a very long time. So let's get into the story. I'm not going to go so much into the writing and the art because other than, just to pick it apart or to point out something I really like, because Ann Nocenti, she's a wonderful writer. And Stephen Byrne, he's obviously, look at the stuff. Look at some of the stuff. Some of the good things and bad things about modern comic books are the graphics. I say that the graphics, like the regular art isn't graphics, but like, the lighting effects, the color effects. The coloring is by Proto Bunkers, Dono, and Sanchez Amara. They're using obviously some kind of computer coloring. I say obviously, but it could be something else, but I really don't think it is. I'm pretty sure this is digital coloring. And there's nothing wrong with digital coloring. I mean, obviously, look at it. It's beautiful. Look at the sun in the back of Galactus, and the lights on his hands, and all of these visual effects are really fantastic. But I don't get a comic book for visual effects. I get them for the nuances, the ink work, the penciling work, the I don't know, the artist's interpretations. All of these things I kind of feel are a little bit more important than all of this digital lighting effects and all of this kind of stuff. It kind of brings me down a little bit as to modern comics. If you guys disagree, let me know. But I have a feeling that most of you kind of agree, because you're of the same ilk of the same likeness, that I think you like older comics, and I don't know. But we're gonna give it a try. We have an open mind. I always try to have an open mind about any comic book, any artist, any company, any characters. I like to have an open mind and check it out and see what I like and see what I don't like. So Galactus is talking to Silver Surfer. One thing I am going to say before I get into this, I really kind of was hoping for more. I was hoping for more of an intricate story as to why Rogue became a Herald of Galactus. And I don't know. We'll get to the story, and I'll get kind of complaining at there, I guess, because I really did not enjoy this comic as much as I could have. There was a lot of things that I do enjoy. Obviously, I love the art. It's beautiful art, but it's also very kind of generic-ish a little bit, and it's nothing that I would go and look for Stephen Burns' other art. I'm not going to go seek his art out elsewhere, and I'm not going to go looking for his previous work or anything like that. But he is good. He's definitely competent. The different angles that he uses with his panels, it works really well. Galactus, Silver Surfer having their age-old debate of killing planets that have life on them, and Silver Surfer has had enough. He's just disgusted, and he tells Galactus that he's going to leave. And then we have this little side storyline of Rogue, who's Anna Marie, and she's at one of her, I don't know what you'd call it, one of her parents, not her parents, she's at a foster home. I believe it's a foster home, and it's like a farm, and there's one of the farmers is doing a controlled burn, and they're kind of just talking about Rogue is giving her lots of back talk, and the farmer's trying to teach her some things, but I don't know about this. She's trying to teach her about this burning control burn, so you can create a new way for your new growth and your farm and stuff. And I'm not sure about that. I don't know the technicalities of that. We do burn our hill every other summer, or whatever, every other spring. So we do a controlled burn like that, but it's not for farming reasons. It's more for aesthetic reasons. So, but Rogue is breaking this horse. She takes off. And at the same time that they're having this conversation, Galactus is like, I'm done. I'm done with this nonsense. You're no longer going to be my herald. Get out of here. So he punches him. So one of the problems that I've always had with Galactus and all of the celestial things is I feel like they should be on more of a cosmic scale. It's like the Fantastic Four #2 with Galactus. I know everybody complained about the big cloud of cosmic energy or whatever, and I can understand that you wanted to see Galactus. I wanted to see Galactus, and in the new trailer, he looks amazing, and I bet it's going to be awesome. But at the same time, there has to be a little bit of if you interact too much with Galactus as a person or as a being, he loses his cosmic accountability. He loses his whole feature of being a being above everything. It's like one of the great things about the Celestials is they don't talk to any of the superheroes that are attacking them when they're deciding whether or not the fate of the planet. They just lay there silently. They sit there silent. And I kind of feel like Galactus should be that too, and he shouldn't be going around punching the Silver Surfer. That was just kind of dumb. And this whole thing, again, part of my problem with the What If new franchise, the What If stories in the TV shows and stuff like that, is they're a little bit silly. It takes away from the seriousness of the What If stories, and in the TV show, it is serious. Like there's a lot of downer stuff, and they try to get a lot of this emotion going in. But there's also this kookiness because Marvel can't have a movie or a show or anything that doesn't have a little bit of kookiness to it. And for the most part, I enjoy that because, as I've stated elsewhere, is you really need to have humor in order to create a cohesive and great storyline. You could have a really good storyline and have it not be funny at all, but to have humor in it, to have a romantic association, to have all of these emotional entanglements, that's what makes great stories what they are. And to disregard that would be silly, but at the same time, sometimes you can go over the top with it. And Galactus punching the Silver Surfer does that for me. Rogue sees where the Silver Surfer lands. She goes over to him. She has this first. She's going to give him mouth to mouth and try to resuscitate him. Maybe he's already dead. I don't know. So she has this conversation with herself, like, I'm going to kiss him. Like it goes from mouth to mouth to kissing. That doesn't make any sense to me, and it would have been much better if she was just trying to save his life, trying to give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, even though he's this alien that she's like would be completely baffled. And any normal person sees this alien crashing to the earth, they're going to be a little weirded out. But obviously she isn't. So she kisses him. She gets all of his powers. Don't know why she gets all of his powers, but I guess a little bit of a story here would be that Galactus actually transforms her into a herald at that moment because he knows exactly what's going on at all places and at all times. He's like a god. And so he transforms her. She doesn't actually take the powers, the cosmic powers from the Silver Surfer. She actually is given the powers of the Silver Surfer by Galactus. That's what I'm thinking, maybe. Because she also has all of his memories about the Fantastic Four, about being a Herald Galactus. So she knows everything that the Silver Surfer knew and went through and all that stuff. So it only kind of makes sense that she didn't just get his powers and his abilities and stuff by her touching him, because we've already seen that she can't absorb that much power. She tried to absorb Mojo's power, and she could just get a fraction of it before she started going, all weirdo. But so that part, and also she took all of Carol Danvers' power, Captain Marvel, but she killed her at the same time. So, I mean, she didn't kill her. She obviously came back. But Rogue is all pissed off because she knows that she was supposed to have another destiny, and they go through this whole kind of rigmarole and whole thing about the destiny she was supposed to have of joining the Brotherhood and then becoming an X-Man. And this is when Uatu comes in, and Uatu has become so trite and silly and goofy that I kind of think that Watchers used to be so awesome, and the times that they did interfere with humanity and the Marvel Universe, it made it that much more powerful and poignant. But now he's just doing whatever he wants to do and whenever he wants, and interfering all the time. It just doesn't make any sense, and it's unfortunate. So Rogue takes off, and she's calling Galactus Big G, and here's a congratulations to the 2024 Harvey Award Hall of Fame inductees: John Buscema, Arthur Adams, and Larry Hama. All fantastic choices. They're all great. Larry Hama, I was actually angry at him for a long time because I believe it was him that said something about arguing about comic books. They're not even real, or they're not even real literature, or something like that. Anyway, he was still a good creator. So then we have this little scene of the X-Men and Gambit and Raven, rather, Mystique and Destiny, and they're all feeling the loss of what Rogue would have become in their life, and they're like they feel that they have a missing link or missing puzzle piece in their life, and that they are feeling sorrowful for it. And that was really a nice little side thing that kind of add a little bit of emotion to it. I wish they had like kind of gone through this a little bit more. I wish it had been like 4 or 5 pages where they really kind of felt that. But it's a big story in a little comic book, so there's a lot of stuff to cover, and really, I don't think they hit the mark. But Rogue goes to Galactus, and this is her Herald uniform, costume, whatever. I'm not impressed. I really think that it could have been a lot better. I don't know. And one of the things is that she is young and she's got a nickname Rogue because she's always running away. She's got that rebellious spirit that she did not learn to be as heartfelt and stuff from the X-Men that she did. She learns that later on. I mean, you can go through the issues issue by issue as Rogue grows as a character, and she learns to become a better person. That's one of the fantastic things about her, is that she starts as this villain and then becomes a good guy, and that just like following her trek, following her progress, and her the way she lives and becomes a good guy is so fascinating. But this is just like bam, she's a good guy. Bam, she's Herald of Galactus. Bam, she's got all of these wily ideas of how Galactus should be and stuff like that. So she's not cool with being Galactus's herald, and she fights back. She has the same kind of problems that the Silver Surfer had. She doesn't want him devouring good planets that have life and stuff. So she has this back and forth with him, and eventually he breaks her, just kind of like she broke the horse early on. So she's like, all right, I'm going to, if I can't do this by physical force, because she tries punching him, obviously, and he just like grabs her and is like, you're going to do what I say or I'll smush you like a bug. And she has no choice. So she thinks she's going to trick Galactus. She flies to this planet that has these dragons, these cosmic dragons, and which is a cool planet. I want to see more of that planet. And Galactus goes there, and she thinks that she's tricked him and that these dragons are going to kill Galactus, and she tries to help, like smashing him. But Galactus, being the omniscient person that he is, creature that he is, god that he is, just kind of wipes out these dragons, no problem at all. And he tells her that he can read her mind. He knows what she was doing, and that he was taking this moment to teach her that she is nothing compared to him, and that he is everything, and she has no choice but to become his herald and do his bidding, exactly what she wants him to do. One cool thing that I saw, I have this story idea in mind of Galactus's world ship, because it's as big as a solar system. So my thought is that there are people that escape from the planet, which we've seen that with the Skrulls. A lot of Skrulls escape the planet. So in my story, the creatures that Galactus destroys their planet, they escape, and a good portion, or a portion anyway, end up on his world ship. And so there's all kinds of there's like millions of diverse species and characters and stuff, and they could probably even have some sort of they obviously would be privy to sophisticated technology, futuristic technology. So they could probably get starships to go back and forth from the world ship to, say the Shi'ar, whatever, the Shi'ar Empire and stuff. So there would be a whole civilization and a whole way of living on Galactus's world ship. They would even have some worshippers of Galactus, and they'd have some haters of Galactus and stuff like that. But one of the things that Galactus says here is, for 1 trillion years, for legions of heralds, is ever the same. So for trillions of years, I had never thought of this before, but for trillions of years, Galactus has had different heralds, and he said legions of heralds. So there's like maybe millions of heralds of Galactus that have happened in the past, and that would make such a fantastic book, such a fantastic comic book, is to be just the heralds of Galactus, where it could be like a million years ago on a different planet where this herald does the same kind of thing with the surfer, or something like that. So this would coexist with my world ship story that I would do if Marvel ever decided to hire me for that. So anyway, as the story goes, the blue side of the moon, the Watcher is there. This is another one of those kooky, goofy things about the new What If series. Rogue smashes into, or I guess she didn't smash into it. Galactus again punches his Herald of Galactus. He punches her. I want somebody to show me some other times when Galactus has punched anything or anyone. I don't know. I've never seen it in a book, but I'm not completely that versed in Galactus lore. So if anybody can let me know when Galactus has ever punched anybody, let me know. So anyway, he punches Rogue. She happens to land in Uatu's lair. They have this heart-to-heart conversation where Uatu says you're going to have to coexist with Galactus, and maybe if you teach him to be good, or maybe if you're good and righteous, maybe he'll follow suit and be good, and you can influence his life. And she's kind of disgusted by that, but they have this whole dialogue about lesser beings and greater beings, and he gives this little Zen metaphor and stuff about sweeping up before the path or after the path, something like that. Anyway, she goes to Galactus. She's angry. She just says, I'm not going to be your herald. I'm just going to sit here and die. I don't care. Screw you. And then she says something about taking his powers, and Galactus is like, yes, right. So he actually lets her touch him, not to take his powers, which would have been a good way to go with the story, even though there's only a couple more pages left. But it would have been a more interesting, different way to go with the story instead of what exactly happens, because I think this whole thing has been predictable, and a what if comic should not be predictable. He allows her to touch him and see what happens. What would happen if there was no Galactus? And they go through this whole thing of how he disperses cosmic energy into the universe, and without that, new planets wouldn't be formed. And so he is like the cosmic equivalent of the burning of the crops to grow new crops from the old ashes of the old. And he's like the last one there with no universe, because it would have all been destroyed, because he would have not been dispersing cosmic energy and all that stuff. So she finally gets it. She finally understands this cycle of birth and rebirth and destruction and chaos and all this stuff. She kind of understands it. But Galactus is like, even though you've submitted to my will, I'm going to, just like I gave the Silver Surfer, I'm going to give you one boon. I'm going to give you one wish. And her wish is to create an ark to save 2 people from every planet that they devour, so that their whole civilization isn't completely destroyed. So Galactus says that he will do that, and they will go through the cosmos, and he will eat more planets, and she'll find him, but he will also acquiesce to her and create a starship or a spaceship or whatever, and these new people will actually live on this ark, I guess, and go from planet to planet. I don't know what exactly is going on there. She's not happy about it. She's sad about it, but she's made her decision. She's made her compromise with Galactus, and she's accepted her fate. So she's unhappy about it. So yes, it is goes with the what if tradition of being a unhappy ending, but at the same time it also is a happy ending, which that is really kind of goes against what I really want. I just want a bad ending. I want her to have killed Galactus and then gone to the end of the universe and seen for herself that there is nothing, and she just dies alone, or lives forever alone, and stuff like that. It's horrible. I want horrible stuff to happen in my what ifs. But it is what it is, and it was okay, I guess. So I kind of sound like I hated it. I didn't hate it. I just didn't love it. I didn't like it as much as I should have, especially for being how much was this? $4. It was $4. That's not too horribly bad, I guess, because I think it is a good size. The comic book, that's what she said. But anyway, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the art. The art was pretty good. Like I said, it's professional looking. It's good. It doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't make me excited to go get some more Byrne art. Like, I saw Byrne here and I was like, oh, that's John Byrne doing the art, and it's Stephen Byrne, maybe a relative. But I don't think it is. But the art is pretty good. It's enjoyable. There's nothing wrong with it. I enjoyed it. I liked it. The story is just like I said. There's too much. When you get something like this, you're expecting something. But you want twists and turns, and there weren't really enough twists or turns. Her costume, very lackluster. It was her original bad guy costume, and yeah, super lackluster. And I really wish there'd been something more, something better. Maybe even some fights with other heralds or stuff like that. But it was an enjoyable story. Ann Nocenti is a really good writer. She's written a lot of really fantastic stuff, and I really enjoy her writing. And so all of the dialogue and all of the plotting and all of that stuff, super solid. I never had to reread anything. The panel layouts are really good. Everything's really nice, and it's dense in some areas and loose in other areas. And so it's really, I enjoyed the art. I enjoyed the writing. I guess I just did not enjoy the way the story went. And not so much I didn't enjoy the way the story went. It's just I wish it had gone a different way, more challenging to me. I just wish it had been more challenging. So anyway, Galactus, what if Galactus had transformed Rogue? Number one, there's a whole bunch of them. There's like a what if Galactus transformed the Hulk? What if he transformed Gambit? See, this is a totally missed opportunity. It could have been a crossover between the Gambit and the Rogue. What if he transformed Moon Knight? What if he transformed Spider-Gwen? I don't know if they're going to have more of these, but I kind of wish they wouldn't. 4 or 5 comics is completely good enough, even though I would love to see what if he transformed Venom, or what if he transformed the Punisher, something like that. But that would be really cool. But anyway, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. I'm going to give it a 7. I know that 7 seems low for a lot of people, because I give 8s and 9s to a lot of indie comics and stuff, but I'm giving them different grades. Marvel grades are not the same as indie grades, and they don't mix, I guess, in my mind anyway. So anyway, I did enjoy it. I'm giving it a 7. I'm not going to go out and get those other what ifs. I guess that's my big baseline for, as you know, is a 7 is if I get more. If I do want to get more, then it goes over a 7, but I don't. So 7 it stays. So anyway, what if Galactus transformed Rogue? Number 1, it gets a 7 for me. If you guys like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. I usually do indie comics from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s and stuff. But I really do review all kinds of weird stuff. So I have a whole bunch of other videos, and let me know what you guys think, especially more than the subscribing, although I do want you to subscribe, but more than any of that, thumbs up or anything like that, I would love a comment from you guys. Do you like... is this too much X-Men? Is it too much Marvel? Would you rather me go over more DC, or if I was going to go over more Marvel stuff, would you rather see like Captain America or something like that? Let me know, because I love talking comic books with you guys. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I love comic books, and I love sharing everything. And that's really what I want, is for you guys to comment and let me know if you guys got this. Let me know if any of you have it, or if you're thinking about it, or if you think it's trash. Let me know that too. But anyway, thanks for watching. It's a Thursday. This is going to come out on Friday. So have a great weekend, and thanks for watching. And as always, keep on creating.